Hello, my dear friends. Today we're going to talk about something that is not the latest trendy buzzword. It's not what you see on Instagram or in those flashy lifestyle magazines. And yet, it is a life raft for those of us in midlife who really understand what it means to carry weight. We're going to talk about minimalist living. Now, before you wrinkle your brow and say, "Minimalist living? Isn't that just tossing everything out? I'm at my age. Who has the energy to mess around with that?" Hear you. Or maybe you're thinking, "But as a middle-aged person I've got so many social obligations, so many friends and acquaintances. How could I possibly adopt something like minimalism? Is it about cutting off friends?" I get all those doubts. Absolutely. No judgment here. We've lived into our 40s and 50s. Most of us into our 60s or even 70s now, and we carry this growing burden. A burden full of things we don't use anymore. Old suits from decades ago, the children's toys from elementary school, gifts we promised we'd cherish but never really did, and the endless social niceties we feel obliged to attend. We live more and more crowded lives physically, and yet we feel emptier inside. But here's the thing. Minimalist living is not about forcing yourself into a deprived life. It's not about becoming cold or indifferent. Rather, it is about unpacking the burden you carry, discarding what no longer serves, and keeping only what is truly important. It's about allowing your days to feel clearer and your heart to feel quieter. The 19th century philosopher Henry David Thoreau wrote about this when he stayed at Walden Pond. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. Many of us in midlife don't face massive disasters. We do not face enormous tragedies every day, thank goodness. But we are held captive by the superfluous. We're trapped by excess. So what I'd like to do today is share with you 15 methods for minimalist living in midlife. Ways to transition from days that feel overloaded and breathless into days that feel light and calm. 1. Clear out things you haven't used. Don't wait for, "What if I'll need it someday?" In midlife, there aren't that many what ifs anymore. Let's get real. We're not that flexible, our needs are more stable, our rhythms pretty familiar. So what you aren't using now, chances are you won't use later. For example, that old suit from 10 years ago. The waist is tighter, it doesn't fit, yet it still hangs in the closet. Or your children's old elementary school workbooks, yellowed with age and stacked on the top shelf of the bookcase. Or those free gifts you got with a big box appliance purchase. A cheap set of dinnerware, still sealed, still sitting in your cupboard. Ask yourself, in the past 5 years, how many times have you used those things? When you open your closet and your home is still organized more by what could be than what you are using, you're carrying weight. That "what if" is often nothing more than fear of loss, or sentimental clutter disguised as genuine need. A simple rule for letting go. If you haven't touched it in 12 months and you won't need it in the next 12, let it go. Donate old clothes, pass books on to someone who needs them, toss broken or useless free items. Don't feel guilty. You're standing for space. Space in your home and space in your heart. As one friend said after clearing her wardrobe, "The day I removed all the clothes I don't wear anymore, I actually felt I could breathe again." 2. Buying. Ask first, "Do I really need this?" Then, "Is it really a good deal?" As middle-aged folks, we've all been caught by the cheap deal trap. 2 for 1 at the superstore, limited time flash sale online, a discount on that pot or pan set we don't actually need, a clearance rack suit that looks like a bargain but doesn't fit us or we just don't wear. Suddenly we've paid for storage space, cleaning time, and the guilt of having it languish. What seems like a bargain often turns into wasted money and extra burden. So next time before you buy, do I really need this right now? How long will I use it? Will this take up space or become clutter? If the answer to any of those is no, skip the purchase. Middle age is a time to invest your money wisely. Not in cheap junk, but in things that truly elevate your quality of life. 3. Wardrobe. Keep only what you feel comfortable in, what you like to look at. Toss the rest. The wardrobe. Many of us have one overloaded with clothes we never wear. One half are styles that feel too old or too young, or make us feel self-conscious. 1/4 might be just in case. Or if I lose 10 pounds I'll wear that again. Newsflash. Midlife body shape tends to stabilize, and waiting for a someday isn't a plan. Take a weekend to truly edit. Remove shoes that rub your feet, pants that pinch your waist, jackets that sit awkwardly, weird impulse buy styles from years ago untouched for 3 seasons. What remains should be the pieces you pick up without thinking. You put one on and you feel good, you feel like yourself. You don't need hundreds of items. A week's worth of rotation will serve you fine. When you next shop, choose comfortable, easy to mix and match, and you-friendly. Skip the labels, skip the trends that don't feel like you. 4. Kitchen. Keep only what you use regularly, make it easy to clean. Of all the rooms in the house, the kitchen is the easiest to let overflow. Gadgets, appliances, duplicates, mismatched dinnerware. Maybe you bought a juicer, a bean soy milk maker, an air fryer, an electric crepe maker. At first it felt exciting. I'll cook so much more. But now half those sit idle. And your cabinet still holds 5 different sets of dishes, unused mugs, odd bowls pulled from value packs. Ask yourself, how many of those do you actually use daily? The minimalist kitchen principle is simple. Keep the tools you use and make sure they're easy to clean. Donate or discard the rest. Your final shortlist might look like a good sauté pan, a soup pot, 1 set of plates and bowls, a few mugs. When the kitchen is lean, cooking becomes joyful again. Cleanup becomes a breeze. In midlife, your kitchen should be useful, not a showroom. 5. Social obligations. Stop forcing yourself, learn to choose. So far we've talked about things. Now we talk about people things. The social commitments that have to go, these should attend. Your friend's grandbaby's naming party, your colleague's housewarming, the wedding of a schoolmate you haven't seen in 10 years. You feel obligated, so you go, even when you'd rather be home reading or resting. But consider this. How many of these engagements are sincere, and how many are simply habit, obligation, or guilt? The ones you dread going to are rarely with people you genuinely want to see. And the ones you feel obliged to give money or time to seldom repay the energy you invest. Minimalism in your relationships means active selection. Do you have friends who truly care for you, not just drink coffee with you but show up when you're unwell? Ask how things are and remember, those are your keepers. The rest. Politely decline dinners you don't want to attend. Skip gifts you feel obligated to give. If you say no because you're busy or need rest, a true friend won't hold that against you. Those who will aren't worth your energy. At midlife, your time is precious. Save it for the people who matter. 6. Social network. Quality over quantity. Many folks in their 50s or 60s have hundreds of contacts in their phone, belong to dozens of social media groups, dodge multiple red packet or group gift chats, spend time liking posts and commenting. Meanwhile, when something happens, only 2 or 3 people call you. That's the proof. Quantity means nothing. Depth matters. Prune. Leave groups that don't enrich you. Remove people you no longer connect with. Decline meaningless gatherings. Instead, spend the minutes and hours you have left with a few good friends. Go for tea, talk about heart stuff, not just work. Watch a movie together, walk in the park. That kind of connection brings warmth. In midlife, more isn't better. Better is better. 7. Work. Stop striving for perfection. Practice good enough and delegation. Many of us in midlife are still all in at work, working late, accepting everything, thinking we must excel constantly. But ask yourself, will it ever be finished? Will it ever be perfect? Probably not. If you try to carry everything, you risk burnout, you risk neglecting what matters. Your health, your partner, your children, your grandchildren, your quiet space. So at work, learn to prioritize. Tackle the most important tasks first, then the less important ones if time permits. If a colleague asks you to help with something outside your role and you're running low on energy, say no. Work is meant to support your life, not dominate it. At our age, our bodies don't bounce back as easily. Remember, you matter more to your family than you do to your job. Time. Stop letting others dictate your schedule, reclaim your minutes. Midlife is when everything seems to demand your time. Boss asks for overtime, friends ask for favors, siblings ask for help, family expects you to attend events. At the end of the day, you realize You've done everything everyone else asked, and none of the things you wanted. Time minimalism means putting yourself back in the driver's seat. Every day, carve out a slice of time just for you. Wake up 30 minutes earlier and sip tea, read a book, spend quiet time. Evening. Put your phone down 1 hour before bed. Weekends. Take half a day just to stroll in the neighborhood, visit the market, potter in the garden. Time is like sponge water, you can squeeze it. You don't have to spend it all on others. You need it for you. Your midlife isn't for meeting someone else's expectations. It's for living your own. 9. Emotions. Stop getting mad for others, practice letting go. We board lives full of irritations at this stage. We see someone doing better than us and feel bad. Someone says something unkind and we stew all day. We argue with our spouse or children and keep it under our pillow. These negative emotions pile up like mental trash. They cause anxiety, restlessness, even physical symptoms. Emotional minimalism means release. Someone else's success doesn't diminish you. Someone else's criticism doesn't define you. If you quarrel with your spouse, talk it out instead of holding resentment. You must know, your peace isn't disrupted by someone else's life. Other people's opinions don't define you. Stop the small dramas. Let the anger go. Choose calm instead. 10. Fixation. Stop obsessing over the past. Turn toward the future. So many middle-aged folks carry regrets. I didn't go to college. I wasted that opportunity. I argued with that friend years ago. These regrets are as though you tied a rope around your legs and anchored yourself to your past. You can't move freely. Fixation minimalism is about letting go. Past is done. Even if you made a mistake, you can't change it. The friend you lost might reconvene, but things will never go back. As the ancient Chinese philosopher Zhuangzi said, life between heaven and earth is like white horse passing through a gap, sudden and fleeting. Don't waste your remaining years chained to what you cannot change. Look ahead. Do something that makes you happy. That's what matters. The best days aren't behind you. They're now and the ones ahead. 11. Information. Stop endless scrolling, begin active filtering. In today's world, you're bombarded by information. Phone news alerts, social media posts, short-form videos. You said you'd sleep early, but you end up scrolling late. You said you'd call a grandchild, but you're still checking your feed. This kind of consumption doesn't enrich. It drains. Information minimalism means you choose what you consume. Set a time to check news. Unfollow or unsubscribe from accounts that don't serve you. Stop watching meaningless short videos. Half an hour before bed. Put down the screen. Info is infinite, your time is not. Better spend it with family or deepening yourself, rather than on mindless scrolls. 12. Diet. Stop overindulging, aim for simple and healthy. Our midlife body doesn't recover as it once did. Yet many of us still cling to overeating, heavy dinners, binge drinking, sweets and snacks unchecked. And what happens? High blood pressure, high blood sugar, weight gain, energy drains. Diet minimalism is simple and healthy. Drink less alcohol or skip it. Cut back on greasy, spicy, heavy stuff. Eat more vegetables and fruits. Choose whole grains and healthy snacks like nuts. Don't chase gastronomic miracle meals. A plain dinner of porridge, greens, and egg is fine. Your goal at this stage is nourishment, not indulgence. Treat your body well, and your body will show up for you. 13. Desires. Stop being endlessly greedy. Learn to be satisfied. Why do so many people in their 50s and 60s feel tired even though they've made it? Because the desires never stop. Bigger house, more money, more impressive kids, more admiration. But desire is infinite and satisfaction is finite. As Mr. Liang Shirqiu, a Chinese essayist, said, human desire is unending. As soon as one is fulfilled, another arises. Desire minimalism means you learn to be satisfied. Enough money to live, fine. A house that's comfortable, fine. Children who are healthy and content, fine. You don't need everything bigger or better. Happiness is not more. It is cherishing what you already have. Health, loving family, true friends, that's enough. When you reduce greed and increase contentment, life becomes easy and happy. 14. Family. Stop keeping score, cultivate mutual acceptance. Family should be our harbor. Yet so many of our family lives are filled with small resentments. Spouses argue over trivialities. Mothers-in-law and daughters-in-law clash over childcare. Parents and grown children lock horns over grades or lifestyle. These conflicts are like thorns in the heart of the family. They suck the warmth out of the home. Family minimalism is mutual acceptance. Spouses. More understanding, less complaining. Mothers-in-law/fathers-in-law. More respect, less criticism. With grown kids. More listening, less lecturing. Home isn't where you're always right. It's where you're always loved. Don't let petty disputes steal your family's comfort. In midlife, your family needs warmth, not competition. 15. Yourself. Stop pleasing others, start loving yourself. Here's the final and most important method. Love yourself. Many of us have spent decades pleasing others. Bosses to get a promotion, friends to stay socially acceptable, children or in-laws to keep the peace. And often we forget, we deserve kindness too. You've deprived yourself of that new blouse you wanted, or the travel trip you dreamed of. You kept going though you were tired. Ask yourself, if you don't love yourself, how can you expect others to love you? If you're not happy with you, how can you make others happy? Minimalist means you reclaim your narrative. Stop pleasing everyone else. Allocate your time and energy to you. Eat that special meal. Buy that outfit you like. Do the thing you've postponed. Rest when you're tired. Speak up when you're unhappy. You are the main character in your life. Others are supporting cast. At this stage, your days aren't about pleasing others. They're about living comfortably, freely. Loving yourself is the best way to honor yourself. And it's the best gift you give to your family. Minimalist living in midlife is both subtraction and addition. Subtract the excess. Add what truly matters. So dear friends, after we've talked through these 15 methods, you might think, that's a lot of things to change. But you don't need to do it all in one day. Minimalism is a journey, not a race. Start slow. Today, remove one item from your closet. Tomorrow, say no once to a social event you don't want to attend. Gradually, you'll notice your days growing lighter, your mind calmer. Many think minimalism is just subtraction. Fewer things, fewer people, fewer desires. But I believe minimalism is also addition. When you remove the unnecessary, you gain space. When you remove the meaningless social obligations, you gain time. When you remove the relentless hunger for more, you gain joy. Midlife is not the downhill of life. It's the period of settling in. We've been through much. We should now know what matters and what doesn't. Let's live our days the way we want. Uncluttered, unhurried, unburdened. That is midlife at its best. My hope is that today's sharing inspires you just a little. From tomorrow, try making one small change. Move slowly toward a minimalist lifestyle. I hope each of you listening finds yourself living clearly, living freely, living happily. That's all for today from me. Until next time, subscribe for more, stay well, and I wish you a wonderful life. Take care, dear friends.